Switching gears to the high school basketball level, we start in Parkersburg tonight as the Big Reds welcome the capital Cougars to town. First possession of the game, it's the Cougars getting on the board first as Josiah Green will hit the mid-range jumper right here for the early 2-0 lead. Still in the first, it's Quentin Wilson losing the ball and Shawty Williams is picking up the loose change here, finding Trey Tyson for the easy deuce, 4-0 Cougars. The Big Reds would finally get on the board though as Chandler Jackson makes a nice pass here to Wilson, who finishes with the sweet floater to cut the Cougars lead. Second quarter now, Capital by 10. It's Wilson driving the lane and he's going to finish through the contact plus the foul to make it 12-4 Capital. Still an 8-point game here as Big Reds freshman Noah Smith is going to hit the dribble pull-up to make it a 6-point game. Cougars enter in transition off the steal, but look at the hustle by Wilson as he blocks it against the backboard, and the Big Reds would go on to lose this one though by the final score of 68-48.